F. Today is the first day of winter or summer, and yeah, yeah, I'm dreaming. Yeah, uh, this is 1st of December, and this is OSRA Daily Scrum. Here is Craig, Nick, and me. Well, Nick, let's start with you.
Sure. So over the weekend, I finished up the story that I was working on, which was to validate that when orphans are being imported, that duplicate records cannot be inserted into the database. This is something that the client did not ask for initially, but this is something that they requested just recently. And I've added that functionality. At the moment, it's kind of awkward because there are two checkpoints during the import process. The first checkpoint makes sure that the Excel spreadsheet is valid, and then the second checkpoint makes sure that the orphan records that are about to be inserted into the database is valid. So there are kind of multiple points for failure, which is probably not ideal from the UI or UX perspective.
Already perspective.
Sorry?
Already perspective.
Already perspective, I suppose. Fair enough. But the sort of the only mitigating factor is that this is being reworked entirely, the importer functionality. So hopefully this will not be an issue for long. Craig's merged in that pull request, and I have actually, just before we started, I've started a new pull request to merge this code to staging, and I will send this story to the client for review as soon as we're done here. And the other thing is I confused and possibly irritated Pavel by marking the stories on Jira with flags. And my intent was to highlight the things that we need to focus on this week if we truly intend to go to production.
And you definitely reach your goal.
Well,
What, of irritating Pavel?
Yeah.
No. It's yellow, it's like, I don't know, it's like a red for bull, I don't know, for me. Yeah. But anyway, it's good decision. It was good decision, actually. Yeah.
And that's it for me.
Okay. Craig?
Code review and mergers have been my flavour of the day, and that's been it.
What about this refactor of orphan importer? What's your forecast?
That's in code review.
Well, yes, it's in code review, but I thought it's in code review for a long time, no?
Well, yes, but I would guess if I put myself, if roles were reversed, I would probably be staving that job off for a little while myself. It's not going to be the easiest thing to code review because it's a big job.
27 days in code review. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's that, and again, that statistic is a little bit misleading. So it's only been in its present form in the past, is it 4 or 5 days?
Something like that, yeah.
Because the import refactor was a job that I started a month or so ago, and then Motorsum had his work to do, and I've brought the two together and resubmitted them as a PR because with the Cyber Monday and the Black Friday and all that stuff, Motorsum just doesn't have have time.
Okay, so it's different one.
Yeah, it's kind of an amalgamation of the two coming together. And then if we can get this one out of the way, then we can sit and have this chat about how we want it to be going forwards, and then hopefully do much smaller PRs, but very deliberate steps to get it out the mess that it's in at the moment.
Okay. What are your plans?
Yeah. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Craig, what's the I don't know what how to describe it. What's the status, I guess, of this refactor vis-a-vis the updating the importer? Is everything now in the refactor PR, or are there still two separate things?
Well, I'm not sure I understand the question. So
Okay, OSRA 221. Is that still a completely separate story that we need to finish on its own?
let's have a look at 221.
So that's Motosim's updating the importer.
That's for the father field and everything.
Yeah.
That's done. So that pull request covers that. But what isn't done is the 238. I mean, it's done as in it's started, but there are lots of things that we're all unhappy with. So the fact that Orphan should be validating earlier on, and all those sorts of things that we've discussed that we need to thrash out. But in terms of Motosim's checking for... Go on.
Sorry, I'm just looking at Jira. There is still OSRA 225 subtask. That is a part of 221 story, the validations. And this is basically my question is, if let's say that story is now in code review, if I review it right now and I'm happy with it and I merge it in, that story is done and closed, or there's still something else left for phase 0 for the importer?
How do you read 225? Do you mean, because basically we know that's not true because the Orphan isn't validating, is it? That's why you had to put that clunky bit of code in.
Yeah.
Because we haven't done it properly. So theoretically, if you follow the description in its true form, no, it isn't. If what he means by that is, do we enforce the constraints that he's put in the database settings YAML file?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That basically, that the importer now needs to check that the Excel file includes the column for father alive, and it includes either true or false for that column.
That's done.
That's done. Okay, so we can move 225 into code review then.
Yes. Sorry.
All right. Terrific.
But I mean, I don't like the wording of it because it makes it sound better than it.
Yeah.
It is.
Right. Okay, so basically, Motosim's pull request, if we review it and it looks okay, we can merge it in, and that upgrade to version 2.3 is finished.
Yeah, if we look at the importer refactor and we look at the config settings YAML file, which is a fair chunk of the pull request, the fifth or sixth of the pull request, I think, that is actually adding the.
Where am I here? So that's 149, the pulled PR, right?
179.
Oh, sorry, what am I looking at then? Okay, so where is 149 with respect to 179 then?
Let me have a look.
Do we still need 149?
No, sorry, yes, that if we're happy, so 179 is an amalgamation of the importer refactor pull request that I closed and 149.
Okay. And what's the best way to proceed then? Is it better to merge 149 first, or we can
No,
just
I
focus?
think we can. If we're happy with 179, we can close 149. I just didn't believe it was an appropriate thing to do uh, at the time because I wasn't sure on how people were going to react to 179. But if we're happy with 179, basically I've taken the last. I'm just looking at the. Yeah, basically the two are the added validations for father alive, father as martyr, and father date of death. I've kind of copy and pasted them over one at a time into the importer, the orphan importer, till we got it all passing.
Okay. So, for the sake of clarity, yeah, sorry.
If you look in 179,
yeah.
And look at the files changed, the config settings YAML file, which is like the third one down.
Yeah. Here it is.
That's the changes that we're.
Okay. So, for the sake of clarity, shall we close 149?
I guess so, because we can always reopen it, can't we, if we need to. Let me put in. Yeah, because if you see at the top of my 179 description, I should have looked at that at the start. That's a merge of 140 and 149.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to close 149 right now.
Cool.
Good.
Okay. Alex, your turn.
Hello, team.
Well,
I'm working on 258, refactoring the complex cucumber steps and extracting some helper methods from it. Maybe just after this Scrum, I might need 5 minutes or so from Nick. I understand he should be the one who wrote that request. So I just want to make sure what I'm doing is meeting the expectation that he had. I might have understood it differently from what he meant.
Yeah, sure. I have time after this Scrum, Alex.
No, thanks. Otherwise, currently it's kind of open-ended because we just say complex cucumber steps. So maybe we might need to also make sure what I'm understanding as complex is the same understanding that he had. Otherwise, I might have done just a few, yet more might be meeting the definition of complex he had.
I think any area that you identify that could use improvement is fair game. Basically, there were a few particular steps that I was looking at when I wrote that, but I know that our entire Cucumber suite could use a very thorough going over and fixing up and etc. So anything you can do is fine. I would just say keep your pull requests fairly short so that we can merge them in fairly fast.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Guys, any other questions to discuss?
If anybody ever gets a chance, I mean, I know we have a lot in code review already and stuff that's more urgent than this, but if anybody ever gets a chance to look at 164, this extracting father from the orphan model, I would appreciate hearing what people think about it.
Cool.
164, where is it?
Sorry,
Pull request number.
Yeah, pull request number 164, and there is no matching Jira story for it yet because it was kind of more an exploration.
We still do not have integration with GitHub, right? In Jira.
There is one, but I don't know, it seems to be spotty at best for me. Or at least if I'm really conscientious about how I name my commits, then I think everything kind of clicks. But if I you forget to include the Jira story number in the commit message, then it doesn't get linked.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, very nice switching on broadcasting. Let's call it a day, and you can talk with Alex.
Sure.
Okay.